So, as usual, I'm scrolling on my phone, trying to find videos to watch, catch up on things, see people's opinions on certain things. And of course, it's YouTube. So I come across the most egregious, most terrible, most deathifying, I almost wanted to jump off a bridge poll I've ever seen in my life. This was the most horrendous poll, and this poll had the most horrendous votes on the poll, and I didn't get why. So let me just show it to you right here. So boom! What does it say? It says, who has better battle IQ? Luffy or Akaza? Now see, to me, this question was cut and dry. It's obviously Akaza, right? Tell me why people didn't agree on this. I get it. Some people just randomly hate Demon Slayer out of nowhere, just because it's sold so much in the box office when the movie dropped. I can't even speak right now. I'm so pent up with anger and emotion. I can't even speak straight no more. Just because a Demon Slayer movie did so well, a lot of hate spawned out of nowhere, and you can't even agree on the most simplest things that are just obviously true. Akaza has better battle IQ than Luffy. You want to know why? Let me explain here. If I really have to explain this, this is sad. Akaza is a master martial artist. He's been alive for hundreds of years. And guess who he fights? Trained swordsmen who damn pretty much sure mastered their craft in the way of the sword. Whatever style they practice, the Hashira mainly, they all mastered it. Hold on. We forget, these demons have been alive for hundreds of years. There hasn't been one Hashira able to take down the upper moon in how many years? I said hundreds. So you really gotta put in perspective how many master of their craft type of niggas Akaza fought. And we can't say, oh, they was weak, they was this, they was that. Brother, we seen Akaza fighting one of the stronger Hashiras, Rengoku. And we see what happened with that. We seen Akaza fight Giyu and Tanjiro in the movie. If you haven't seen the movie, go ahead and watch it. And if you know what happens with that, you know what happens with that. But spoiler alert, again, I'm going to say it again so you can leave or pause the video right here or skip 10 seconds. Spoiler alert, Akaza could have easily beat them niggas after he regenerated his head. He chose not to. He chose to die. Again, that has nothing to do with battle IQ. I'm gonna just leave that part alone. Just remember the point of he's been fighting for hundreds of years against master of their craft swordsmen. What has Luffy been fighting? What has Luffy been fighting? Pirates, Navy, Marines. And people forget, again, Luffy is a pirate. Most pirates don't use battle tactics and strategy. There's some that have to contend with the world that they're in right now, such as Usopp, a Nami, or a Robin. Okay, those characters have battle IQ to a certain degree. Yes, they do. Motherfuckers that are strong in that world, no, there is no thought process in how they fight. They fight to contend, they fight to challenge, they fight to overpower. There is no real thought happening mid-battle. Of course, there's scenes where you see Luffy, oh, he finally figures out the weakness to this one Logia. Okay, cool. That takes no IQ to understand what a weakness is to something. And not only does Luffy get beat multiple times after figuring something out, he never has a plan going into the fight. He just goes, I'm going to punch that boy, or I'm going to kick that man's ass. That is it. Everything he pulls out is not stuff he been practiced. He just does it on the spot. If anything, this is more to his creativity and more on this is creativity in general. Just doing some real creative shit last minute. Anyone can do that. That is not your IQ. That is not using IQ in the middle of battle. No, that has nothing to do with IQ. The type of character Luffy is he is just a wild card. That is his whole entire character. We never see this man. I'm going to think of a that dumb boy, that stupid monkey. Ooh, that stupid ass, but he is not thinking about anything. You think any thought is going through his mind when he's fighting? You are insane. You are literally insane and probably have not seen One Piece. Y'all are giving him way too much credit in what he's due for. Versus, let's look at Akaza fights and what he does in his fights. He obviously thinks about counters. He obviously thinks about what's the next step. He's thinking each way of the way he's fighting. Dude, when he's punching, when he has to counterattack, when he has to use this move, when he has to do this move, when he has to move this fast, how does he do this? Like, there's so many little things that are going on between his fight, especially when that sun was rising up. Boom, he felt when Goku squeezed around his arm. He's like, okay, I gotta think, how do I get away? Boom, I'm gonna pop my arm off. Oh, this one, like, there was so much thought of how certain things can play out and how he can get out of certain ways, how he can counterattack certain things, what moves he can use to counter this and do this. There was so much more thought into what he does than what a Luffy does. That is the best way I can explain this whole thing. If you have not seen a lick of Demon Slayer and you just wanted to hate and say Luffy because that's your favorite character in the world, that's the only way I understand you answering this as being Luffy having a better battle IQ. There's literally no other way to spin this. There's no other way to say Luffy has better battle IQ than Akaza. Akaza, a man that has lived for hundreds of years and he's mastered martial art. I'm not even gonna get into it no more. There is nothing more to get into. And the one thing I see people say, and I'm gonna just take this away right now, bro. People say, well, he was dealt the worst hand. He had the rubber fruit and he used it in this way and this way. His ability to figure out something that was once considered the most worst fruit to have is not it's not a point for his battle IQ. Again, that is creativity. That is not battle IQ. That is creativity. Okay. You figured out how to use the power. How does that understand? How does that translate into battle IQ? That makes no sense. Brother, later in the series, we have Katakuri with the Mochi Mochi fruit, and he's going ballistics. And he's one of Big Mom's top soldiers. Gang, if anything, those type of fruits with the rubber properties, with the more elastic properties, should be the most overpowered. You got another nigga damn near with the most similar power to you being a top tier at that time. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Not only that, we come to figure out that all the stuff that really didn't matter before. Look, all the stuff that's saying that Luffy had the worst devil fruit didn't matter before once we revealed that he has the god fruit. Nika. And that low-key, I'ma say is so sad to me. Because that low-key kind of takes away the creativity away from the fruit. Because now you can translate it as, oh, well, he can do this because the god fruit this, and he has the will that just transferred down, and he was able to figure out how to use the devil fruit because of that. You can say it like that, and if you want to say that his creativity puts into his battle IQ, then that really takes away from everything, and it's not really Luffy as the fruit. Okay, we're not even gonna get into that deep. We don't need to get into it that deep. To simplify this whole thing and end this video off, Luffy just punches, straight goes in punches. Damn near every One Piece character goes straight in and punches, nigga. They are pirates. They are willing to contend against each other. They don't use most of them. Blackbeard, leave Blackbeard out of it. Most of them don't use underhand tactics. You never see Zoro use an underhand tactic. Okay, yeah, he's a sergeant. Yeah, he goes up against you head on. Same with Luffy, head on. Same with Sanji, head on. They're not using underhand tactics. They stick to their morals. They stick to their codes, whatever they got, and they fight to just fight. They just fight. They just box. And that's what I like about One Piece. They literally just box. Whatever happens, happens. There is no thinking. It's just box. So let's just give the battle IQ to Akaza. It's not about who beats who. It's battle IQ. And it's Akaza. Without further ado, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Goodbye.